Everybody else in the theatre knows what it's like to work with lots of directors. The only people who don't know what it's like to work with other directors are the directors themselves.
Directors are not part of the ensemble of actors. We are not part of the regular staff at a theatre if we're a freelance director.
We desperately need to have a voice representing us specifically.
I saw a huge gap, and that it was clear that theatre directors were grossly underrepresented.
I think Stage Directors UK is making me feel part of something. Because even if you're in the privileged position that I'm in, which is, I have a working life in the theatre, you, on the whole, feel very isolated.
A collective where you can meet with and talk to and share ideas with and fears with other directors is revolutionary and brilliant.
When SDUK turned up, emerged, it was something that I think that people like I've been waiting for a long, long time. The conversations that I'm now having through and with SDUK are conversations I've never had before with anybody. They've never really been possible.
We need to exchange ideas because the art form is moving forward and there is no forum for us as opera directors to discuss them.
I think a body where we can actually share wisdom, share experience, share injustices that might have been done to us over our careers, make sure that those injustices stop, that body feels to me to be long in coming and really, really necessary.
Stage Directors UK is now the professional trade organisation for directors across the whole of the UK.
It advocates for directors, by directors, on behalf of directors.
What's really strong about SDUK is it works with directors right across the spectrum.
Directors are perceived as being very powerful in the industry, but in reality, they are working at some of the lowest rates of pay.
Because we love it, and the people who do well really, really love it, it's therefore imagined that we must be doing it for love.
I think in the last 10 years, the fees have come to a standstill, which is appalling, really, because I'm still doing the same job, if not better at it, and still not getting paid enough.
Unless the fees raise, it's going to be a self-selecting club before very long.
Am I actually the lowest paid person per hour in this room?
This is what I'm earning, what are you earning? This is the difficulty I have. Do you share that?
We do need to start talking about money, and the truth is, really, why I hardly ever mention it to people is because it's so appalling.
My fear is not that theatre will still exist in another 20 years' time, but rather that theatre will become the domain of a chosen few.
Earning a living's hard. I know for me, on top of my directing work, I have to try and work 2 jobs just to make sure that I can pay rent and keep the lights on.
Unless we can ensure that theatre directing is a diverse profession, we can't ensure that we're representing the thoughts, ideas, hopes, dreams of people from across this entire nation on our stages. And that's really important. It pushes the art form forward above anything else.
I think it would be really useful for us to have a rate card that we could have recognised by the Arts Council, just in order that we are as recognised as, for example, equity are for actors. In the same way, we would be able to set rates for directors.
It's really important for me as an artistic director of a building that we ensure that another generation of directors are coming through because they are being paid well, because they are helping to change the canon of work that's being made in British theatre.
As an artistic director, it becomes even more important to be a part of SDUK because then you're on the inside having the conversation rather than feeling as though artistic directors and freelance directors are in battle with each other.
We can really transform the culture and bring forth a whole generation of directors who can flourish in better conditions.
It doesn't matter how far you've got, how experienced you are, how established your career is. There will be situations where you're going to want to work collectively with other directors, on your own behalf and on their behalf too.
We help them with their contracts, we help to negotiate, we help to advise them, and we are there for any director who needs us.
I'm about to become a mum and juggle directing and being a parent at the same time, and so far Stage Directors has been incredibly supportive.
I think managing a career as a parent where you have to juggle childcare fees, being a good parent, and the amount of time you give to your career is really something that's very rarely talked about.
As SDUK goes forward, our goals are to continue to offer mentorship, training, workshops, masterclasses, support on contracts, support on looking at royalties and whether directors should be receiving royalties in the subsidised sector.
So I think the royalties is the thing that from my own personal point of view, I think is the single most important thing.
Fair royalties to directors and designers as well as to writers.
Directors together, collaboration, supporting each other, informing each other, passing on tips, hints, artistic, commercial, contractual.
If you're emerging, we've got our masterclasses. If you're a mid-career director and you're looking to meet other directors or to network, we're going to have our breakfast meetups. If you're a director with a knotty issue, be part of our mentoring scheme.
The great thing about SDUK is it brings colleagues together. It brings the world of theatre directors together. People who've been isolated for a very long time now have a voice.
It's wonderful to make contacts with colleagues, friends, professional connections across the whole of the UK, and to work out which issues are exclusive to us in Wales and which issues are those that we share with our friends and colleagues across the UK.
The more of us there are together, directors together, campaigning, working, talking, sharing ideas, the further we can push this conversation forward.
My advice to anyone who hasn't yet joined SDUK is that your voice will be stronger with us as a community. We are stronger together.
I joined SDUK because it's absolutely the right thing to do.
I don't really know of any other arts organisation that is doing really anything to represent us.
That's why SDUK is necessary, so it can talk with the subsidised theatres as well as with the commercial producers to sort this out.
We really want you to join. This is a conversation. We want all directors together. We want to make this industry a better, happier, more creative place for all of us.